Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A dramatic sentencing tonight in the criminal case involving a deadly crash that killed a Grosse Pointe teen. Thank you so much for being with us for the news at 6. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Damon Fernandez in for Ty Steele. In November 2023, 18-year-old Flynn McCrell was in the passenger seat when a juvenile driver struck a utility pole at more than 100 miles per hour. We've chosen not to identify the driver since he hasn't been formally sentenced as an adult.
Our Noel Friel was in court as the sentence was handed down following some highly emotional victim impact statements. Noel?
Yeah, that's right. That teen driver was given a blended sentence, meaning if he violates his juvenile sentence, an adult sentence will then be imposed. He was given secure placement probation, which means he'll be held in a juvenile facility. And if he violates the terms of the probation, he will then serve 19 to 38 months in adult prison. The family of Flynn McCrell called this sentencing a travesty after a long fight to get justice.
Do you know how much pain and energy and suffering to have no justice and still have no justice? And I've spent the last year and a half, and I waited for that.
The family of Flynn McCrell reeling after a judge spared the teen driver responsible for his death from adult prison. Flynn's brother, sister, father, and mother all gave victim impact statements, urging the judge to give him the maximum sentence possible.
Since Flynn's life was ended, I'm awestruck by the amount of sadness in the world.
I was robbed of seeing him graduate. I was robbed of being his best man. I was robbed of meeting his children.
The teen behind the wheel the night of the crash was speeding at over 100 miles per hour on Ridge Road in Grosse Pointe Farms before hitting a utility pole and then a tree. Data from the app Life 360 revealed a long history of speeding, at times reaching speeds of more than 120 miles an hour just in the weeks leading up to the crash. The teen addressed the court before his sentencing, apologizing to the McCrell family and referring to Flynn as his best friend. His defense attorney argued he's worked toward rehabilitation since the crash, receiving mental health treatment.
I recognize that there is nothing that I can do to end their pain and their suffering. I recognize that I caused it. I recognize that it will never end.
For Flynn's mother, his remarks fell on deaf ears.
It's a cunning, manipulative criminal individual who just once again was not held accountable for killing my son. So no, his fake tears are disgusting.
And Flynn's mother, Ann Vanker, says she plans to continue to urge Michigan lawmakers to pass new laws increasing the penalties for reckless driving for teens, including allowing them to be charged as adults. Live outside the Wayne County Criminal Justice Center, Noel Friel, Local 4.
Okay, Noel, thank you.
Well, tonight, an Oakland County man is identified as the person shot and killed by a Shelby Township police officer last week. The Macomb County Sheriff's Office was called in to investigate that June 3rd incident. The Sheriff's Office revealing today 41-year-old Thomas Antonio Jackson of Troy died in the shooting following a traffic stop near 22 Mile Road and Van Dyke Avenue. The Shelby police initially said the man tried to run from the traffic stop and pulled out a gun, which he refused to put down before the officers shot and killed him. The officer remains on administrative leave during this investigation, which the Sheriff's Office is calling ongoing.
A man faced a judge today on accusations of sexually assaulting a girl who went missing from Vista Maria House in Dearborn Heights. Today's arraignment came 51 days after police found that 16-year-old girl with 62-year-old Kamal Darwish in his apartment. She had been missing for more than a month after walking away from Vista Maria. The charges against Darwish include sexual abuse of a child, drug charges, and harboring a runaway. He's been in custody of Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, who say he overstayed his visa. We spoke, I should say, with Darwish's attorney, who says people don't have all the facts.
He maintains his innocence in this matter right now. We need to really get a full understanding of the facts in this case and what's happening. Kamal's somebody who came here legally into the United States and was hoping to start a family or engage his family that has already been here and help with his children that have already been residing in the United States. And so we're looking forward to litigating this case in the courtroom, and we'll find out as this plays out in the courtroom.
Well, we got this statement from the aunt of the girl found with Darwish. She says, quote, he lied to police and then was caught with her in his apartment. How is that innocent or a family man? We just hope he gets what he deserves.
You know, tomorrow will bring No More Kings events across Metro Detroit. Now, it's a series of protests which organizers are calling a nationwide day of defiance. The rallies are happening all over the state and around the U.S. in response to President Trump's planned military parade in the nation's capital. Jay Scott Smith is live at one of the rally spots with more on what to expect. Hey there, Jay.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're live right now in Clark Park in Southwest Detroit. And yes, it's a little rainy out here. It's also very quiet, but out here tomorrow is going to be the spot of one of those numerous protests. Another location will be in Oakland County, and in Farmington Hills, they're very clear on what's happening out there.
You know, many people are calling this a rally. We're calling it for what it is. It's a protest.
Lloyd Banks took over as the chair of the Farmington Hills Democratic Club back in January, and he's very clear on what's happening at the Farmington Hills Library tomorrow.
Protecting our democracy and denying anything as it relates to authoritarianism, because it is wrong. We're saying no kings, no crowns. Folks are showing up to protest for that exact reason.
Farmington Democratic Club's protests will be among a number of No King's Day protests across Southeast Michigan. And Banks says that the current climate in this country has turned toxic and dangerous. And he's heard from residents that something has to change.
There are things that are happening just around us that just doesn't make sense. We have the Tesla incident that's taking place, or the protests that they're doing over there, because they're fed up and they're tired.
Banks says he's expecting close to 1,000 people at this protest and is working with the Farmington Hills Police Department to make sure that everything remains peaceful. And he's added that just because the Democratic Club is organizing it doesn't mean it's a political rally.
We welcome our Republican friends. We welcome anyone that's in independent or whatever, to come out and join us, as long as you're about peace. That's what we're about.
Now, Banks also took time to applaud the other organizations that are holding protest rallies across the area, including We the People Dissent, the one that is holding the protest rally here in Clark Park tomorrow. But he also added, once again, that it doesn't matter what political party you're a part of. He feels everyone is welcome to protest because democracy should be our #1 concern. We're live in Clark Park in Southwest Detroit. I'm Jay Scott Smith for Local 4.
Okay, Jay, thank you.
2 Chinese researchers accused in separate smuggling cases are ordered to stay in jail until their next hearings. The 2 women appeared in federal court. Both consented to detention, meaning they will remain in jail as their attorneys work to build a case. These are 2 separate cases, though, but both women are Chinese researchers with ties to the University of Michigan and are accused of smuggling biological material through Detroit Metro Airport. Hearings in both cases are set for later this month. That's when the government will have to prove the researchers committed the crimes they are accused of.
Well, right now, 4 of the top polling candidates looking to succeed Mayor Mike Duggan as mayor of Detroit are preparing for a debate you'll see this coming Monday.
It'll be on Local 4 and streaming live on Local 4 Plus. Here's the moderator, Jason Colthorpe, with a look at how everything's setting up for this important debate.
Well, take a look. This is where the debate will happen, the Valet Jazz Center on the campus of Wayne State University. The biggest question after that is, how did we choose which 4 candidates to participate in this debate? Well, we recently put out polling in partnership with the Detroit News conducted by Glenn Gariff Group. And that poll went to Detroiters who plan to vote in the primary. And we asked them simply, who would you vote for right now? Now, to make the threshold for this debate, anyone who got 10% of that vote, including the plus minus 4% margin of error, would qualify. So anyone who is basically at 6% or above, and 4 candidates met that threshold. Mary Sheffield at 38%, Solomon Kinlock Jr. at 14%, James Craig at 9%, and Santiel Jenkins at 8%. Everyone else was at 4% or lower. So who's asking the questions? Well, that'll be me, along with our partners at the Michigan Chronicle and the AARP. But the questions come from you, Detroiters. That poll I cited earlier also asked what the most important issues were to you. You not only told us what they were, but you clearly ranked them in an order of importance. As for the format, well, you see the 4 podiums here. This is where the candidates will stand. They'll have 60 seconds to answer each question, and they'll also be offered a 30-second rebuttal if someone calls them out by name. We're certainly hoping for a lively discussion that, most importantly, sheds some light on who you want to be the next mayor of this great city. I'm Jason Colthorpe. Back to you.
All right, so I think we're just exactly 1 week away now from summer.
The 20th, yeah, I think that is right. 30, 40, 50, 60, yeah, you're right. I had to do the math.
It sure doesn't feel like it.
I can answer that question.
Okay. There's Kim. Take it away, Kim. She's
Call
the
on me.
expert.
Call on me. Yeah, 1 week from today at 10:40 p.m. So that's why, we'll explain a little bit more next week because most people think it's always on the 21st. It's on the 20th, but it's not until 10:40 p.m. and we'll talk about why that is next week. Right now, this is such an interesting to me, probably not to you, but just when the rain sets up like this, where there's just this line. I mean, it's such a distinct line that cuts off the rain from the drier areas, and it's just north now. Here's I-96 right here, and so it's just to the north of that. So parts of Macomb County, Oakland, Livingston County getting some rain right now, and then heavier rain as you go a little bit farther to the south. Now the Tigers game, well, we'll kind of see how this plays out because right now we are getting rain downtown. Whether or not it's enough, it's going to start pooling on the field is still yet to be determined as far as I know anyway. We'll ask Hobie about that. But upper 60s, it would be pleasant tonight. I mean, temperatures are in the 60s, but there is that chance, not just a chance of showers, it's raining right now, and that chance we could get more over the next several hours. The good news here, though, don't cancel your weekend plans. There will be lots of dry times throughout the weekend, and I'll tell you when those will be coming up.